I'm Kate Kelly with America Comes Alive, where you'll find great stories simply told.
In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, theater audiences loved vaudeville with live entertainment of all types, ranging from acrobats and animal trainers to magicians and musical performances. But musical performances were well liked, but they were problematic. Vaudeville theaters were large, and there was no good way to amplify sound. The successful singers of the day were those that had stentorian voices and could project. Tender love songs were hard to perform well. 19th century songs like Stephen Foster's Beautiful Dreamer or Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair were about love, but the only way to perform them in a big theater was by singing at top volume. But sound amplification was coming. In parks where there were regular outdoor band performances, some places built masonry megaphone-like structures so that if singers were involved, they could be heard along with the band. On a smaller scale, engineers were working on the telephone, looking for ways to amplify voices. These changes led to a more useful microphone. The microphone acquired the name because it was said to do for the ear what the microscope did for the eye. Inventors were also learning to capture sound so that it could be played back after a performance. In the 1910s, a process known as acoustical recording was being employed. When making a recording, the musicians and singers crowded around a cone or big disc that contained a diaphragm. The diaphragm was connected to a cutting needle resting on a recording medium, usually a wax cylinder. As the diaphragm responded to the sounds made by the performers, the needle cut corresponding grooves into the cylinder. For the disc to capture the sound, each singer or musician needed to step forward during their part of the song. Then they stepped back while others sang or played. The process involved a lot of awkward jockeying around. By 1925, vast improvements were occurring, and musicians soon saw that with microphones they could be heard better in theaters because the sound was amplified. This changed music. The singers who could belt out a song sounded terrible in front of a microphone. Most of these performers had never learned to modulate their tones. As musicians experimented with what worked, they learned that a new type of music was possible. For the first time, emotions could be conveyed with the sound of the voice. Lyrics could be about love, and the tones could be intimate and suggestive, as if the performer were whispering the song to each listener. The style became known as crooning.
Learn to croon if you want to win your heart's desire.
Women loved it. Radio producers adapted quickly with both softly sung ads segueing into crooners singing love songs. As these singers gained popularity on radio, the clubs started booking them to perform live. People wanted to see the faces behind these soft, soothing voices. Just as rock and roll worried adults several decades later, this new form of singing was pronounced dangerous. Many churches felt that it would lead to bad morals. Singing teachers condemned the style because they felt that the American chest would shrink because of lack of lung development. But the popularity of the music grew. Rudy Vallee was an exceedingly popular crooner, followed by Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, and Nat King Cole. Though the 1950s usher in the era of rock and roll and very different music, there were still musicians who mix in a crooning style of song. Norah Jones is certainly in that group, but so too is someone like Bob Dylan.
I'm Kate Kelly with America Comes Alive. Look around and see what inspires you.